Coming up on KUJH News, how Minneapolis has responded to the Derek Chauvin trial.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine stops distribution after deadly side effects were found.
And the latest Kansas men's basketball developments. All that and more right now on KUJH.
Live from the studio in Stauffer Flint at the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Good afternoon and welcome to KUJH News. I'm Emily Johnson.
And I'm Matthew Johnstone. On Sunday afternoon, a Brooklyn Center, Minnesota police officer shot and killed Daunte Wright, a 20-year-old black man, during a traffic stop. The video you are about to see is graphic.
Wright was pulled over by officers for a traffic violation related to expired registration tags. Officers then discovered that he had a warrant out for his arrest. In graphic body cam footage released, the officer pulled out her firearm while shouting "taser" before shooting Wright. Take a look. On Monday evening, the officer who shot Wright was identified as Kim Potter, a 26-year veteran. Potter has been charged with second-degree manslaughter and was arrested late Wednesday night. The Hennepin County medical examiner concluded that, quote, Wright died of a gunshot wound of the chest and manner of death is homicide. The shooting has fueled more frustration and protests into the Twin Cities area, where the trial of Derek Chauvin is taking place less than 10 miles away. On Sunday, demonstrators clashed with police outside of the Brooklyn Center Police Department. Protesters threw bricks and cans at officers, as well as breaking into 20 businesses at a nearby mall. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey declared a state of emergency on Monday and announced a 7 p.m. curfew, which was then moved to 10 p.m. on Tuesday. The curfew did not stop demonstrators from gathering. Police declared the protest unlawful and began dispersing the crowd with tear gas and flashbang grenades. The National Guard has been in Minneapolis since Monday. Over 79 people were arrested on Tuesday night alone. As the trial of Derek Chauvin continues in Minneapolis, important updates continue to come as more witnesses take the stand. Wednesday, Dr. David Fowler, former Maryland chief medical examiner, reviewed Floyd's case for the defense. He told the jury that Floyd's drug use, prior health conditions, and potential exposure to carbon monoxide from the exhaust pipe of the police vehicle
contributed to Mr. Floyd having a sudden cardiac arrest.
The prosecution disagrees, saying Floyd's death is on Chauvin's actions alone. The defense launched its case Tuesday, focusing on Floyd's drug use, and brought in a use of force expert, arguing that Chauvin's actions were justified. While on Monday, the prosecution's use of force expert testified that the police officer's actions were unreasonable and a use of deadly force. Judge Peter Calhay said testimony is likely to wrap up by the end of this week. He told jurors to be prepared for closing arguments on April 19th. I was in Minneapolis this weekend and had a first-hand look at what the area looks like at the moment. The footage you are about to see is the area surrounding the Hennepin County Government Center and what downtown Minneapolis looks like during this time. Outside of the Hennepin Government Center, military-grade trucks are seen surrounding the building alongside with soldiers. Fences are also seen surrounding the entire building with banners all throughout Minneapolis asking for change. Nearby businesses are boarded up in case of more protests with the phrase "Black Lives Matter" written all over them. Some news crews were on the scene, but most journalists moved to Brooklyn Park to cover the Daunte Wright protests. As you can see here, residents of Minneapolis are still trying to make their voices be heard. Over the last few days, Minneapolis is not the only city where protests have occurred. New York City, Portland, Kansas City, Omaha, and Los Angeles are just some of the cities where demonstrations have occurred. The distribution of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has come to a nationwide halt. According to yesterday's Lawrence Douglas County Public Health press release, roughly 1,300 doses of the vaccine have already been administered by the Lawrence Douglas County Public Health Agency. This action comes after 6 women in the country have contracted a rare blood clotting disorder. Their symptoms began showing themselves around 1 to 2 weeks after being vaccinated. If you have taken the vaccine and are experiencing common flu-like symptoms within the first couple of days, such as a headache, nausea, and feeling tired, that's expected. There's no need to worry. If you are feeling more severe stroke-like symptoms, such as numbness or tingling in the limbs, slurred speech,
difficulty talking or standing, seek immediate help.
According to Lawrence Douglas County Public Health's COVID update released earlier today, the number of active cases rose to 236 cases, with Douglas County's cumulative total of cases rising to over 9,000 cases.
According to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, just over 34% of Kansans have been vaccinated with at least one dose. Douglas County still leads the state in vaccines given out per capita, with 475.5 out of every 1,000 people having received at least one dose of the COVID vaccine.
The Sexual Assault Prevention and Education Center on campus is recognizing Sexual Assault Awareness Month this April. Lead reporter Steph Manchin dives deeper into what this means for our community. Let's take a look.
On Monday morning, the Sexual Assault and Prevention Center planted 3,318 of these little white flags on Watson Library's front lawn, each representing a survivor who's experienced sexual assault on campus. The numbers break down to about 1 in 6. According to SAPEC's findings, 1 in 6 undergraduate students will experience sexual assault during their time on campus. Jen Brockman, director of SAPEC, said that these statistics tend to see resistance, as community members cannot believe that this could be happening on their campus.
Oftentimes when we hear that pushback against statistics, it comes from the space of fear. Because what does it mean if this is right?
Brockman said in order to make sure as many voices as possible were heard, SAPEC utilized surveys from a variety of resources, including the National Sexual Violence Resource Center and the Crime Victims National Survey, to generate inclusive questions. This year's project has been updated to be more inclusive to other identities after students demanded to see expanded numbers.
All the previous projects had just centered cis women with that number, and then this year, in partnership with our campus partners such as SGD, chose to center trans folks who have experienced harm as well as cis men within our number representation.
The display will be up for the remainder of this week, coming down on Friday. For more information on events SAPEC will be holding this month, please visit sapec.ku.edu. For KUJH News, this has been Steph Manchin.
It's great to see the university continue to bring awareness to this very important issue. If you haven't gone out to see the display, make sure you check it out before the flags come down on Friday.
The university has announced plans for the 2021 homecoming celebration later this fall. KU football will actually be playing Texas Tech University.
KU Alumni Association, along with the Student Alumni Leadership Board, will begin planning homecoming activities for the city of Lawrence, lasting from October 13th through the 16th.
Currently, plans include both in-person and digital events to celebrate welcoming back alumni to the university in whichever form it may take.
It is really exciting to hear that the university is planning for more in-person events later this fall.
Homecoming actually always ends up having the best weather. It's not too cold, not too hot. Our KUJH weather correspondent, Halen Wilhite, will have our full weather forecast later on in the show, but for now, what can we expect, Halen?
So right now in Lawrence, we're feeling pretty nice outside, although we are feeling a lot cooler than normal for this week. And also we're going to be seeing colder nights ahead, which could bring up a chance of frost in the early morning hours. And also we'll be seeing rain showers coming up towards the end of this week. Now, I wanted to bring our attention to the island of St. Vincent, and I just wanted to share this radar loop of the volcano that's been erupting there. And as you see these plumes of smoke and ashes erupting from this volcano, it's super cool to see on radar. And also I wanted to share this other radar loop of this supercell storm in Texas that produced gorilla-sized hail. And now when we mean by gorilla-sized hail, we mean hail larger than baseballs. Yes, hail larger than baseballs. So just imagine these coming right at you out of the middle of nowhere. But thankfully enough, we don't have to worry about these storms coming up soon, although it is still a precaution that we need to look forward once we get into May. But back to you.
Why doesn't my skin look like theirs? Why is my nose so big? I'm never gonna look like those girls.
Welcome back. The issue of whether or not businesses should require vaccine passports has become a hot topic in the news. Our KUJH News team examines both sides of the conversation.
Welcome to KUJH's very first roundtable discussion of the semester. I'm today's moderator, Steph Manchin. Today we have our very own Matt Mitchie and Alex Worth talking about COVID-19 vaccine passports. Let's start off by each of you presenting your stance on the matter. Alex?
Thank you, Stephanie and Steph. And I believe that it is very important for those who are able and willing to get vaccinated. And I also believe that it is important for those who do get vaccinated to carry around a passport, because in the end, it's going to allow all of us to have some sense of normalcy to our lives again. What do you think, Matt?
And I do want to make it clear that I very much am in support of trusting science. Everyone should get vaccinated and do so as fast as possible. But I'm a little bit concerned about the passport just due to access to the vaccine. I'm worried that some people might not be able to have as easily access as others are.
Understandable.
So what do you both believe to be the most important argument for or against the passports are for each party? Matt, you can start.
So to me, the importance of the passport, obviously it's kind of become a partisan issue. President Biden suggested the passport and Democrats are supporting it, and the Republicans have kind of fallen down the line and opposed it. To me, I don't really see the partisan slant to it. To me, I think it's really just a question of access. I think the passport is very, very important, especially later on down the line as more and more people are immunized and we have more of a herd immunity. But for right now, I'm just concerned about the idea that, not everyone has the same access to a vaccine. Someone in one county where there's been more vaccine distributions has more likelihood of having one and getting access to this passport and whatever might be guarded by a passport, and someone in another county where there aren't very many vaccine distributions might not have that same ability.
That's fair. I can't disagree with you on that. I think there's definitely a big disparity between those who can afford to get it right now and those who are not getting it. But even if we start the passports right now, I think that very rapidly people who are not vaccinated yet will get the opportunity to get vaccinated, and then everyone will be safer. We'll have some sense of herd immunity, and things will be able to go back to normal.
So how do you believe the passports impacting travel will influence Americans to get the vaccine?
Well, I believe personally that people have been cooped up for over a year now, and traveling has been very difficult. I know that cruise lines had to get bailed out by the government about a year ago because they took billions of dollars in losses. And I think that once people are vaccinated once again and able to travel, it'll stimulate the economy enough where people will be able and willing and happy to leave and get vaccinated because they know these things are out there on the horizon for them.
And again, I completely agree that it's important to make sure that you have as many people immunized that are traveling as possible. Obviously, that just makes it safer for everyone. But at the same time, I think traveling is pretty important for everybody, regardless of where you're from, what your job is, everything like that. So to me, sometimes the idea of safeguarding who can and can't travel is just a little difficult to overcome if, again, this access question, if you're not able to get a vaccine, then that puts somewhat unfair limit on yours. Even if, you have access to a vaccine, it might be more difficult where you're from based off of your income levels, based off your work, all things like that. It just makes it a little bit more difficult, maybe a little bit unbalanced in terms of, who gets to have access to the traveling through a passport and who doesn't.
Understandable.
Thank you so much, Alex and Matt. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's roundtable discussion.
While many of us have the option to decide whether or not to get vaccinated, for some populations, the decision is made for them to the issues of economics and access.
The homeless community is one of those groups. For them, access to healthcare is just one of several issues that they have to deal with on a daily basis. An organization in Lawrence is trying to bridge that gap by helping them meet basic needs.
Homelessness in Lawrence is a growing issue that both city government and local leaders are trying to combat. The DARE Center on 10th and Kentucky Street helps the homeless by providing them with food, laundry, hygiene products, and other basic amenities to meet their needs.
The idea was to provide homeless people a place that they didn't have, where they could come in off the street without any judgment, without any vetting, just come in, use the bathroom, take a shower, do some laundry, things that are so fundamental to good, clean living that we all take for granted in our homes.
Part of the issue is the negative stigma that homeless people in Lawrence face on a daily basis.
Everybody out here is profiled. I'm profiled. He's profiled. If you see me hanging out with a drunk, I'm automatically a drunk.
No, yeah.
You know, if you see me hanging out with somebody that you know smokes crack, I'm automatically a crackhead.
The issue also lies in a lack of funding and resources for the homeless. But COVID-19 has helped make people aware of the problem.
There's now much more consciousness about the problem, and the city commission particularly and the county commission are amenable to talking about what can be done.
You have to get down to the root problem before you can help people. You know, you have to connect with those people. You can't just look at them and say, yeah, they're trouble. Well, yeah, they're trouble because they've been out here. This is their way of life.
This is Ryan Butler reporting for KUJH.
Thank you, Ryan, for that exclusive look at the importance of our homeless population here in Lawrence.
When we come back, we'll have the latest entertainment news both locally and nationally. Stay with us.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Welcome back. Last week I talked about KU Theater's upcoming production of Airness, and the cast list has been posted. But why have me introduce them when they could do it themselves? Let's meet the cast.
Hi, my name is Elijah and I'm playing Shreddy Eddie.
Hi, I'm Jill and I'm playing Cannibal Queen.
Yo, I'm Diego and I'm playing Golden Thunder.
My name's Asher Susky and I'm playing Facebender.
My name's Lauren and I'm playing the Nina.
My name's Haley, I'm playing the announcer, sprite executive, and hooded figure.
And we are so excited.
We can't wait!
A big congratulations from everyone here at KUJH, and I cannot wait to see the show in the fall. The music industry took a hit this past weekend when rapper and actor DMX died at the age of 50 from a heart attack because of an overdose. He was hospitalized and on life support at the White Plains Hospital in New York with his family by his side. The three-time Grammy-nominated artist and American Music Award winner released 8 studio albums and acted in movies such as Romeo Must Die and Cradle to the Grave. His music and films have impacted many. The British royal family also grieved this past weekend when Prince Philip died of natural causes at the age of 99, just 2 months shy of turning 100. The royal family has gotten together to attend his funeral that will take place this Saturday, except for Meghan Markle. Her physician advised her to not travel because of her pregnancy. The royal family has asked the public to donate money to a charity of their choice instead of sending flowers. Last week, I talked about the SAG Awards, but today we're moving on to the British Academy of Film and Television Awards, or the BAFTA, and some of the picks shocked some people. To start off, history was made when Chloe Zhao won the award for Best Director for Nomadland, making her the first Asian woman and second woman to receive this award. During her acceptance speech, she said that this movie would not have been possible if it weren't for Frances McDormand.
A huge special shout out to Frances McDormand, who is a brilliant storyteller of her own. Thank you, friends, for discovering Fern with me and for bringing so much joy to our journey. Thank you.
Things are looking great for Zhao. She already won the Golden Globe for Best Director, and she is the favorite for winning the Oscar. And if she does, she will become the first Asian woman and second woman since 2010 to win the award when Kathryn Bigelow won for The Hurt Locker. Frances McDormand also had a great night as she took the award for Best Leading Actress for her role playing Fern in Nomadland, but she was not able to attend the award show. The award for leading actress at the Oscars will be a mystery. Viola Davis won the SAG Award last week, if y'all remember, for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, but McDormand won the BAFTA, so only time will tell who's going to win the Oscar. Lastly, the biggest shock of the night was when Anthony Hopkins won the award for Best Leading Actor for his role in The Father, beating Chadwick Boseman. Sir Anthony Hopkins was not able to attend the awards, but he gave a big thanks to the writers for sharing such a beautiful story. I personally think that the Oscar for Best Leading Actor will go to Chadwick Boseman. He already won the Golden Globe and SAG Award. Hopkins is beyond talented, but Boseman's performance was unbelievable.
Award season will come to an end next weekend when the Academy hands out the Oscars to this year's best filmmakers and actors. I am very excited and cannot wait to see what's going to happen. When we come back, Caitlin Wilhite will give us your full weather update. Stay with us.
Here with KUJH weather update for this evening. Taking a quick look outside right now, we are mostly pretty mild for the most part, sticking more towards the upper 80s. Ottawa getting close to 60 at 59, but for the most part, things are pretty nice outside and probably going to stay nice as we get into the evening. But right now in Lawrence, it is 58 degrees with calm winds from the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And right now, satellite is showing there's some clouds starting to move in our area, so might see a little bit more cloud development as we get into the evening hours, but we shouldn't get any kind of overcasting as we get into the night hours. As we see here, 5 o'clock, pretty cloudy conditions, and we're sitting at 58, and we're going to be slowly dropping down to 44 once we get to 11 o'clock, and then we're going to be sitting at 33 degrees for our low tonight, with winds still at the north from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, we are currently under a frost advisory, so if you have any kind of plants outside, you definitely want to put a blanket over those, as frost is definitely a factor for tonight, as it is pretty cold. But for tomorrow, though, things are going to jump right back up to 59 degrees with partly cloudy skies and winds from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So another beautiful, pretty nice day, and it's going to be staying nice up until Friday when we finally get our next round of rain. That'll most likely come in Thursday night and then continue on into Friday and Friday night as well. But going into the weekend, things are looking a lot nice and climbing back up to about 58 on Sunday, and then Monday we'll be back up to 68, and then going kind of more into the 50s for next week. That is all I have for this update, for this weather update. Coming up next, your latest in sports.
Yeah, I always just clap in this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go. Just clapping now.
No humps.
Nailed it.
I practiced this morning.
Mine was just two people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how to do the end.
It's just.
I don't know the head.
It's hard by yourself.
Welcome back, guys. Over the weekend, our men's golf team competed in the Aggie Invitational, finishing 8th place in the final round. Freshman Luke Kluver had another good week as he secured his 4th straight top 20 of the season. Kluver saved his best round for the final day with the 1 under 71 and finished tied for the 12th at +2. The Jayhawks will be back on the course this Saturday at the Hawkeye Invitational in Iowa City. Former Jayhawk golfer Gary Woodland competed at this year's 2021 Masters Golf Tournament on Sunday, ending with a 40th place finish. Woodland started hot on Sunday and looked as if he might be assured to finish in the top 20 or higher. He birdied number 2 and number 3 to move 2 over for the tournament through 3 holes of his final round. Woodland ended up finishing with 4 bogeys and 2 birdies among 9 pars the remainder of the tournament. Huge congrats to Woodland, whose top finish earned him $43,700 and 15 FedEx Cup playoff points. Track and field has also had a big weekend last Saturday as sophomore Zach Bradford set a school record for the indoor pole vault in Tom Balt's Invitational. Bradford cleared 5.81 meters to win the event, and he became the number 9 performer in NCAA indoor history with his latest mark. He also broke his own previous school record, which was 5.80 meters in 2020. Bradford's new record earned him Big 12 Athlete of the Week honors. The Jayhawks took the top 5 spots in the pole vault competition and currently have 3 of the top 10 jumps in the NCAA in the pole vault outdoors this season. Kansas will travel to the Michael Johnson Invitational in Waco, Texas this Friday. With spring practices underway, KU football will see its first spring game in 2 years, which has officially been set for May 1st as an open scrimmage. The game will kick off at 6 p.m. at David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium, where fans will be able to attend for free. COVID-19 safety protocols will remain in place as tailgating is not permitted and seating will be arranged and socially distanced small pods available. For fans outside of the Lawrence area, the game will be streamed live on Big 12 Now and ESPN+. A lot of news has come out of Kansas basketball since its season ended during the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. KUJH sports reporter Marina Seaver has the latest.
Thanks, Jenna. With the number of players transferring both in and out of Kansas basketball, we're starting to get an idea of what the team will look like when it returns to this court next fall. Freshman guard Bryce Thompson is the latest KU basketball player to enter the transfer portal. Yesterday, he joined Tyon Grant Foster, Tristan Enaruna, Jethro Muscadin, and Latrell Jossel to make it 5 Jayhawks transferring out of Bill Self's program following last season.
I think that this one-time transfer rule where players won't have to sit out, that's likely to pass, and so this is an opportunity for players to go to a school without having to sit out a year.
In addition to the transfers, the Jayhawks could also be losing 2 more players to the NBA, as Ochai Agbaji and Jalen Wilson have both declared for the 2021 draft. Agbaji and Wilson will retain their NCAA eligibility, and Polachek says it seems likely that they will return next year. College basketball's spring signing period begins today, and Kansas is set to bring several new players into its program.
We start with the high school guys, KJ Adams, Zachary Clemens, Bobby Pettiford. Those are all 3 quality guys. Then you got the transfers. You got Cam Martin, Division II forward. He was a 3-time All-American. You got Joseph Yusefu, who's a guard from Drake. Sidney Curry, the junior college transfer from John A. Logan.
Senior Marcus Garrett still has not announced his plans for next season, but Polachek says that from what he's been hearing, there may be a chance Garrett returns for the Jayhawks next year. From Allen Fieldhouse at the University of Kansas, Marina Seaver, KUJH.
Thanks, Marina. It seems like the team will have a lot of gaps to fill before the start of next season. That's all we have in the sports world for this week, but make sure to tune in next week where we'll take a look at a club on campus that emphasizes the importance of women's self-defense.
Coming up on KUJH, how you can see your very own alpaca. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You might think alpacas are only native to South America, but if you live in Douglas County, there might be some closer to home than you think. Our own Matt Mitchie took a trip to the alpaca farm in Baldwin City to learn more.
If you've been around Kansas long, you've probably seen your fair share of farms, but you've probably not seen one quite like this.
Here at Astra Alpacas in Baldwin City, the animals are a little bit hairier than you might be used to.
No.
Oh, get away.
Claudia Hay inherited her parents' farm and couldn't bear to see empty pastures. Now, those pastures are populated by over 3 dozen alpacas that she and her husband raised.
People are interested in these animals because they're a little bit unusual. My husband brought home a farm magazine. I saw an ad for alpacas in the back, and I thought, hey, these sound pretty neat.
There are 38 total alpacas on the farm, and the opportunity to meet one of them is just one phone call away.
Just call us. They're very gentle. They're personable. They like to see what you're doing. It's pretty nice for most people to come out here. We've even had a wedding out here with the alpacas as the guests.
Claudia also runs a store with products made out of their alpaca's fleece.
Just a sample of what we have in the shop and what you can do with alpaca fiber. So it's a big process, but it keeps us going. Gives us a purpose in life to get up and have to come out and take care of the animals.
For KUJH and at Astro Alpacas, I'm Matt Mitchie.
Thanks, Matt. As an alpaca advocator, I'll definitely have to go check that out before the end of the semester.
I agree. I might be heading over to Baldwin to get a look at these alpacas. That's all for KUJH News for April 14th.
To view our stories again or to share them with your friends, visit our website at tv.ku.edu and check out all of our social media pages. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday at 4 p.m. for the latest news, weather, and sports.
With Matthew Johnson, I'm Emily Johnson. Have a great evening.